Hello everyone, and today we're going to take a look at the 3.0 Scoundrel review. And that's been quite a weird expansion really for the Scoundrel. In terms of the healer, the DPS have kind of stayed where they were. They kind of still that PvP specialist. PvE, again, we want a viable and valid PvE spec. We tend to be at the lower end in PvE. PvP, we're still pretty decent. Actually, Scrapper's decent and Ruffian is pretty decent. Most of this is going to be healer though, because it's a PvE channel. So we're going to talk about the Scoundrel healer, arguably the worst in terms of performance to the other healers, or worst expansion. Okay, we went from being that staple OP God mode healer to that other healer in the raid that we'll just take along to that leper, essentially. That's what we are. We're a leper. You think we leached health away from others. We say, oh, bring a Scoundrel healer. And it's like, oh, okay. Have we got anyone else? No. Oh, okay. And I say that as raiding in a guild who we are two main healers of Scoundrels. I'm one of them. Yeah, we're raiding with two Scoundrels. You know, because we're a glutton for punishment. We like the punishment. That's why. We're raiding with double Scoundrels, and to be fair, we're what, 5 out of 10. We killed Lurker HM, 2 Scoundrels, killed Sword Squadron HM, 2 Scoundrels, Bulow, 2 Scoundrels. That's a fun fight with 2 Scoundrels. Yeah, tanks get nervous on that one. You better be nervous if you're a tank healing with 2 Scoundrels in a fight that requires movement. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's our biggest problem, is just the lack of mobility, lack of meaningful healing on the move. We are still the hot based healer, which kind of sucks, to be honest with you. And again, our lack of mobility and our real lack of burst, despite the update in 3.3 to our burst healing and a bit of a nerf to our sustained healing, we're still behind. Okay, we're still behind the Commando, we're still behind the Sage. The way I like to think of Scoundrel healing is, imagine you're at a bar, okay? You're at a bar, you see a nice girl, you know, and you know, you make eye contact with her, you smile, she smiles back, you're thinking, right, I might be in here. You walk up for her, you're about to say hello, you're at the H of hello, you're like, eh, and then some fucker just butts in. That's what being a Scoundrel healer is like in a raid. That's what it's like. It's like a fucking Sage with a fucking instant cast benevolence, Commando with their instant cast heals. You've set yourself up to do something awesome, and then, like, fuck off, some fucker just butts in with their fucking instant cast heals. Fuck them. You will spend the raid cursing at Sages, cursing at Commandos, because how you heal, basically you stack up your hots, you get your bedside manner buff up, okay, by spending an upper hand ability. Upper hand is kind of pointless these days because you get so much of it that you're always constantly spending it to get your upper hand buff. You've got your relics proccing, you get your 2-piece set bonus proccing. You're big, the tanks took a bit of damage, big auto crit underworld medicine incoming, and boom. Fucking in there, isn't they? Fucking cock blocking fucking Commando. It's right in there, taking your fucking girl home with them. Wait till they get home and find out the Commando has a small penis. Wait till she gets home, that's what she's gonna find out. That's what they're gonna find out. Okay? Yeah, that's Scoundrel healing in a nutshell. We set ourselves up to be awesome. Some fucker takes the glory. Takes that fucking glory away from us. You know, sees the tank dying, one button. It's one button for the Commando. It's like one button, instant cast. And you sit there, everything's there, and then it goes out, and then it's gone. Your healing's gone. You blew your load too early, as usual, and you know, your big healing's gone. Or it goes over, you get your underworld medicine, it's like inefficient healing. Your effective healing, way down. Because of course we don't have to heal to full as a Scoundrel, because we've got hots. If the tank's at 95%, then we leave them for a little bit if we've got our slow release med pack and our Colto pack up on them. So yeah, that is how Scoundrel healing is. DPS wise, again, we're more of a PvP class DPS wise. Scrapper's alright for questing and such. I like questing with Scrapper. Ruffian I haven't really done much with. Apparently it is ahead in terms of raiding, but again, Ruffian Scoundrels, or Scrapper Scoundrels, yeah, will they get come to a raid? Yeah, but you're gonna be sort of the lower end of the DPS. You're always gonna be at the low end. Are they viable? Debatable, essentially, is the question, whether they're actually viable. Again, melee in general has a bad time of it, and we are one of the weakest melee classes. So yeah, that makes us doubly unwanted, essentially. We're just not wanted, and it is the least rolled class in the game, is the Scoundrel and the Operative. So, you know, maybe they could do a bit more to get people to roll a Scoundrel. I liked it when they were the OP healer. They were fun to play. Having spent the whole expansion as a Scoundrel healer, I think you can still play them. You don't want to be the OP class, okay? You really don't. Don't want to be the OP healer, really, because then people expect things from you as the OP healer. If you're Sage and you're a commando, it's easy. Like, I today solo healed Dread Palace as a commando. Easily done. No one died. Okay? Not even Dread Council. Not even on Raptors. No one died. Didn't even fail the healing challenge. Never failed it. Pop all your cooldowns. Do some fucking healing. The only healer in that fucking healer challenge didn't fail it. Okay? Never failed it. Again, OP as hell. Sage, ridiculous. The Sage is fucking stupid right now in its overpoweredness. They should either, I think they should personally they should get rid of the shielding, really, or nerf fucking Wandering Mend. Because you're seeing like 4 10k heals in a row and you're like, fuck off. Can't do that. Where's our strength as a healer? In terms of sustained AoE, so we are quite good on Underlurker, or what are they called? Cold Waves. Has, you know, pretty short cooldown, it's pretty spammable. The only problem is it's a channeled ability, so we kind of have to sit still while it's channeling. On Lurker, we do get those opportunities when we're behind a rock and when we're waiting for the cross to come. The other big thing that you can do, which we will show you in the video, is that you can cheese that cross mechanic. Like, you can stand wherever you like, stand in the front of the Lurker, HM. Okay, this is a raid utility, which we're quite good at. We do bring a raid buff as well, but stand in front of it, wait for the devastate, press your dodge, laugh at the fucker. Haha, stupid Underlurker, dodged it, no problem. 200% defense. Fuck you, Underlurker. Okay, fuck you. We can stand in the tank's position. Okay, we can say, come at me, Lurker. Come on, buddy. Come at me, bro. No chance. Oh, you missed. Fucking blew it. Alright, that's where we're good. We're also very, very good at soaking damage. Okay, we're very, very good at that. Sword Squadron as well, right after the gravity. Again, pop your shield probe, get your 20% booster on it from the utility, and no damage. Okay, same with the grenade. Get the grenade if our shield probe's off cooldown. Pop that shield probe, no damage from the grenade. Absolutely nothing. It's a short cooldown as well. It's like a 25-second cooldown. Depths of Manan HM, bonus boss. We're the stars there, right? Demo probes, no problem. We can take 2 of them. We can take 2 demo probes with that shield up, with our scamper as well. And we can take that. We can take 2 of them. Even with the 100% damage debuff, will not kill us. Will not kill us. Even with less than 50k health. It will not kill us. We take the augmented, I think it's augmented shields or something like that. 20% more from your shield probe. I've done that. I've took 2 in a row with the damage debuff, the demo probes, because you have to take a demo probe in that fight, and it is ridiculously easy. Bring a Scoundrel healer, bring an Operative healer to that. And I did it with my Operative as well. Did it with the Operative, the weaker of the 2. The one that got kicked from a pug group for having less than 50k health, despite having the 6-piece set bonus. Which, yeah, full resurrected in the set bonus items, so there you go. Still not good enough. We are good at soaking things. We are very, very good. There's a few examples. Lurker is our bitch, essentially. Underlurker is easy as a Scoundrel healer. It's so easy. It's ridiculously easy. We could just laugh at it. The cross, red cross, fuck you. You missed. Red cross means nothing to us. I remember one of the wipes we had on Lurker HM, being the only survivor because I popped both defensive cooldowns. Red cross killed the entire raid, except you. Took no damage. Sat there and laughed at it, and then did use Disappearing Act, obviously. That's one of the other advantages of being a Scoundrel, is your repair bill, a little bit less. If you can just survive, if you don't, not the first person to die, survive to the end, pop that Disappearing Act, there you go. Stealth res is not a huge thing in this expansion, okay? There's too much AoE going out for stealth res to be effective these days, so it's kind of useless. So our stealth res, remember we used to bring a every 2 minutes we could stealth res. That was our thing as a Scoundrel. If you brought a Scoundrel, if people were dying a lot, but this expansion kind of useless right now, stealth resing, just because there's so much AoE going out that while you're channeling the res, you're bound to get hit by something. Something's bound to shoot you somewhere or other. So again, it's kind of pointless. But yeah, Scoundrel Healer is in a decent place. 4.0 is going to give us an instant cast heal. Okay, we're going to get Colto Pack as an instant cast heal. It's going to be a proc that's going to give us Colto Pack as an instant cast heal. I can't remember what it was. It was data mine, so it might change, obviously. But yeah, we are going to get an instant cast. We can finally get some revenge. It used to be us that were the bastards. We were the hated ones in 2.0 with our instant cast healing. And, you know, we had our mobility. We were the most mobile healer. We went from the most mobile to least mobile. And Sword Squadron highlights that, okay? Even with the 3.3 changes that we went through, we're still the weakest. Single target tank healing is our weakest in terms of everything, in terms of what we do. AoE healing, sustained AoE is where we are. Under lurker is where we star. Okay, we star in lurker. Lurker hard mode, we're awesome. We're awesome in that fight. Again, we can scamper away. Movement purges, we've got the speed. We're getting a teleport. Next expansion, we can teleport to a friendly target, we can teleport to the enemy in the next expansion. It's going to be really handy in that underlurker fight. Just click someone, teleport to them, and again, going to be pretty useful. We're getting Shadow Step essentially, is if you're a rogue in WoW. So yeah, we should do well, I think, in the next expansion. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think we'll main a Scoundrel Healer next expansion. Bottom of the votes in terms of the vote for our new main. I'll put a link to the description if you want to vote in that poll. In terms of where our main is, it is bottom. I voted for it. I thought I'll vote for it. It's at the bottom. What harm can it do? I can only vote once though, so I can't rig the votes. There you go. Set that up for a reason, so I couldn't rig it. So you know, I voted for the Scoundrel because someone has to show the Scoundrel some love, really. But yeah, Scoundrel Healer, probably the hardest healer to play of the three. This has covered more of the healer than it is the DPS, because again, Scrapper, again, it's okay. Blood Boiler is pretty decent actually as an ability. When it crits, it really fucking crits. Like, it's got a huge crit bonus to it. But other than that, it's just too much, kind of not really sustainable enough to be a decent PvE spec. And again, PvP is pretty decent because you get the burst, which is pretty nice. You get your stealth, you know, you can root things, you can stun things. And it's pretty awesome. Ruffian as well. Ruffian's the dot spec. Again, it's just a bit less burst damage, more sustained damage. But again, generally if you're playing a Scoundrel, you're going to be healing. Okay, most of the time. PvE. PvP, you got a choice. Really, that's the difference, PvE and PvP. But PvE, yeah, you're going to be mostly a healer. Get used to being a healer if you roll the Scoundrel. And you want to do PvE, you're going to be a healer. I'm not saying that they're not viable. You can get through story mode operations, hard mode, flashpoints easily enough, but hard mode ops, people tend to want ranged. Guilds want ranged DPS. And generally they're not going to take one of the weakest melee. Unless they don't have a Scoundrel, of course, because it's a raid buff. You do get the crit chance by 10%. But other than that, I wish they would buff one of the PvE specs, you know, just one of them. Just, it would be nice to have a viable DPS spec, just to change it up on the Scoundrel in 4.0, just for a change, you know, because we seem to be stuck in that rut of being a PvP DPS class. We seem to just be stuck there, and you know, the Shadow has kind of moved away from it. You know, the Shadow has just moved a little bit away from that PvP role, and they're quite viable in PvP as a DPS. So it would be nice to see. Again, PvP as a healer, they're still pretty viable. Again, you just lack that mobility and a bit of burst healing. But you do have your stealth, which is always very valuable in PvP. Again, so PvP, they're okay. They're not... No one's going to laugh at you playing a Scoundrel healer. Playing a Scoundrel DPS, again, people are gonna, yeah, it's gonna be fine. You're fine in PvP, actually. You got decent burst, decent survivability. Stealth is always an asset in PvP. Group stealth is a great utility. PvP gets you sneak up on those objectives, you know, with a group of people. Is pretty useful. Or smuggle ability is pretty damn useful. But anyway, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. And goodbye. I don't know what we'll do next, actually. I don't know. Maybe Shadow next? Shadow or Sage? think about it. Anyway, see you again soon. Goodbye.